My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. You definitely want to get this channel's take on what's going to happen in 2019. Almost everything that I've been saying is taking place. Hit subscribe. Also check out my Second Amendment channel. That the latest upload is the best grouping ever. And it's from 20 feet, Springfield XD. It's awesome. Also, these red flag gun confiscation laws, this is like pre-crime nonsense. I will be writing an article about that soon, and I am 100% against these unconstitutional laws. Anyway, you want to get the take of somebody the Washington Post called me the unofficial scribe of Sanders's most hardcore voters. The Huffington Post called me the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet. Why do you want to get the take of this type of person who was firmly on the left and now is a gun control advocate, a Trump voter, very proud that President Trump is bringing home Americans from never-ending conflict? But why do you want to get the take? Because Bruce Orr, this is huge news. Bruce Orr, DOJ official, shared intel from Dossier author in 2016 with prosecutors now on the Mueller probe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is... You'd want to talk about another unconstitutional. This is the most unconstitutional. You want to talk about fascism. You want to talk about setting up an incoming president. The first time that's ever happened before, where we've had since Washington a peaceful transition of power. President Obama ended all of that. This was not a peaceful transition of power. This was an investigation, fabricated, contrived, with quote-unquote evidence purchased by Trump's political opponent. And Bruce Orr told the Obama administration, Loretta Lynch, the DOJ, the FBI that. Bruce Orr told numerous people that. Well, we'll get to the exact people. This was before the Fisa warrant, before Trump even won. This is not only egregious, this is one of the biggest scandals, the biggest, most travesties of justice in American history. This makes Watergate look like the teacup ride at Disneyland. And I'll just read you. Fisa shocker, DOJ official warned Steele Dossier was connected to Clinton, might be biased. They knew that this was a dossier of gossip. Nothing in the dossier, none of the claims are accurate. And people say, well, some of the dossier is right. No, none of the major claims are accurate. Whether a person was at a certain location, that's irrelevant. If you were at a theater with your mother, and then somebody wrote a dossier about you and said you were in a theater with your lover, and your wife was at home with the kids. Well, that's a dossier. Well, some things are accurate. What's his name was at the theater. No, it's completely inaccurate. The major claims are contrived. The Steele dossier is completely bogus, fake, false in every single way. Nothing's been proven because it's all made up. And it's all done with the help of Russian sources. The only person to really collude with Russia was Hillary Clinton, not Trump. Russian troll farms didn't suddenly swing voters away from Clinton. She could not have won. She was not going to win. I explained in 2015 she couldn't win swing states. I stated she would lose, and she lost. But here, within the annals of mistakes and abuses in the FBI's Russia investigation, are finally written, Bruce Orr almost certainly will be the number one witness, according to my sources. This is John Solomon. You want to get everything there is to know about all of this stuff? John Solomon, Tom Fitton, Sarah Carter, Kimberly Strassel, Paul Sperry, Dan Bongino, Joe DeGeneva, Victoria Tenzing, myself, me. I've been talking about this forever, but anyway, the then number 4 Department of Justice official briefed both senior FBI and DOJ officials in the summer of 2016 after Christopher Steele's Russia dossier, explicitly cautioning. The then number 4 Department of Justice official briefed both senior FBI and DOJ officials in summer 2016 about Christopher Steele's Russia dossier, explicitly cautioning that the British intelligence operatives' work was opposition research connected to Hillary Clinton's campaign and might be biased. Orr's briefing in July and August 2016, July and August, before Trump even won. That's the insurance policy. Look, I have no clue why President Trump didn't declassify all of this, because this was classified. This is information of Bruce Orr's testimony that was not made public until recently, or not discussed until recently. Orr's briefing in July and August 2016 included the deputy director of the FBI, the guy, by the way, who is now under grand jury investigation, criminal investigation, for lying under oath 3 times, Andrew McCabe, whose wife, by the way, received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Terry McAuliffe and Democratic PACs. A top lawyer for then Attorney General Loretta Lynch. So we know that Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren, the original fake news story. So Loretta Lynch knew what was going on. The FBI, James Comey, and Andrew McCabe knew what was going on. Peter Strzok, and a justice official who later became the top deputy to special counsel Robert Mueller. So now you have part of Mueller's team. Think about it this way. One person in Mueller's team knew about the Steele dossier before Trump even won the Republican before Trump won the election. Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that for a second. And hit subscribe, and tell everyone to hit subscribe to this channel. By the way, if you want to be part of a newsletter, contact goodman78@gmail.com. At the time, Orr was the Associate Attorney General, yet his warnings about political bias. At the time, Orr was Associate Attorney General, yet his warnings about political bias were pointedly omitted weeks later from the Fisa Intelligence Surveillance Act. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA. Why were they omitted? Why weeks later? So before the FISA warrant, Loretta Lynch, a top deputy to Special Counsel Mueller, who we'll get to the gentleman's name, and McCabe. So the FBI and 2 top people at the DOJ under Loretta Lynch knew that the Steele dossier was a bunch of nonsense that Hillary Clinton purchased. Weeks later, the FISA warrant is given by a judge. The judge does not know that Hillary Clinton purchased the Steele dossier. The Steele dossier is a non-classified British intelligence, former British intelligence spy consultant This is the guy who Christopher Steele was contracted by Fusion GPS, which was hired by Hillary Clinton and the DNC to write a dossier to start an investigation. She paid for her own investigation. I have been saying this for 2 years. Well, about a year and a half. I've been saying this since we found out that the Steele dossier was purchased by Hillary Clinton. I have been saying this almost every single segment. Now we know, just now, that Bruce Orr told the FBI and DOJ. I mean, Bruce Orr is looking better and better every day. Well, at least he it seems that he's looking better. Anyway, at the time, Orr was Associate Attorney General, yet his warnings about political bias were pointedly omitted. Weeks later, from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act warrant that the FBI obtained from a federal court granting its permission to spy on whether the Trump campaign was colluding with Russia to hijack the 2016 election. Look, not one person's vote was altered by a Facebook ad or a Twitter bot. We have no evidence of that. We have no evidence of one vote altered. She won the popular vote. How on earth can anyone correlate Facebook ads to losing swing states? Facebook ads didn't show only in Ohio or Florida or Michigan or Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. They showed allegedly throughout the country after the election, by the way. Majority after the election. They also contradict key arguments. So Orr's activities chronicled in handwritten notes and congressional testimony provide the most damaging evidence to date that FBI and DOJ officials may have misled federal judges in October 2016 in their zeal to obtain the warrant targeting Trump advisor Carter Page just weeks before the election. Now, if Trump is waiting for this to hit a crescendo, look, I'm an impatient guy. Most of us are impatient. We want everything right away. We want all the information right away. If he's waiting for this to hit a crescendo, Trump, what he's doing, the strategic mistake he's making, is that too many people have been brainwashed already. There are millions of Americans who truly believe that Trump worked with Russia or that Russia influenced the election somehow. Russia did not influence the election. There's not one person whose vote was altered because of a Facebook ad from a Russian troll farm. The biggest bullies, and by the way, you don't want to talk about trolls. Correct the Record spent, $1 million? David Brock's $1 million? For social media fake accounts to argue with progressives and when I was on the left and conservatives. But anyway, I am a Trump supporter, Trump voter, because not only for foreign policy, not only because of peace between North and South Korea, but because things like this. Donald J. Trump is the only person, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing the left has against him is euphemisms that they've made up that could easily apply to Hillary Clinton. If these euphemisms actually had a defined, a definition, they would apply to Hillary Clinton more so than Trump. But one of the reasons I like Trump is he's the only person in the United States of America or in the world who could single-handedly take on the most powerful and the most corrupt politicians in America. There's only one person who could have done that. Only Trump could have done that. I mean, it's unbelievable, but since it was disclosed last year, the Steele Dossier formed a central piece of evidence supporting the FISA warrant. Oh, and by the way, there's only two pieces of evidence. The Steele Dossier and a conversation between Alexander Dumbo Downer, an Australian diplomat, and George Papadopoulos, which, by the way, apparently Papadopoulos has a recording of, or that was completely contrived also. They set up Trump, and it's a criminal act. William Barr needs to. Special counsel investigating the special counsel. Do it. Let's get it on. Let's do it. Let's get this on. We need a special counsel investigating the origins of the Mueller probe, all of these things. We need it. There has to be something with gravitas. There has to be an investigation into true criminal activity. They had no evidence of Trump. They used evidence that was purchased by Hillary Clinton. Clinton purchased her own Trump-Russia myth. She purchased it, and the FBI, James Comey and Andrew McCabe, who said, we'll stop Trump, we have an insurance policy. All of these people hated Trump with a passion. They were not neutral. Just like Debbie Wasserman Schultz was not neutral. And by the way, Bernie has officially, in my mind, is in on everything. He wasn't during the election, perhaps, but he's in on everything. Perhaps. You don't fight the 1% by making love to the 1%. It's ridiculous. Thank God I'm a Trump supporter, and every Bernie Sanders supporter should be a Trump supporter. Well, whatever. Every Bernie Sanders supporter who wanted Americans home from war, who wants peace between North and South Korea, who wants a prison reform bill, who wants a good economy with record low black and Latino unemployment. But I digress. Since it was disclosed last year, the Steele Dossier formed a central piece of evidence supporting the Fisa warrant. Justice and FBI officials have been vague about exactly what they learned. That Steele's work was paid for by the law firm representing the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. Now, this is John Solomon. Fox News, DOJ official Bruce Orr shared intel from Dossier author in 2016 with prosecutor now on Mueller team. A prosecutor now on Mueller's team already knew. Details of Justice Department officials Bruce Orr's meeting with the author of the salacious anti-Trump dossier were shared by Orr with his expansive circle of contacts inside the department, including senior FBI leadership and officials now assigned to Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Okay. In a series of questions about his meetings with Steele, including one on July 30th, 2016, and who shared the information, Fox News has confirmed that Orr transcript stated, quote, Andrew McCabe, yes, and met with him and Lisa Page, provided information to him. I subsequently met with Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, and eventually an FBI agent. I also provided this information to people in criminal division, specifically Bruce Schwartz, Zainab Ahmad, and Andrew Weissman, both of whom are on Mueller's team. It's game, set, match. You need to do. This is a criminal act. They committed crimes, Strzok, Comey, McCabe, all of them. This is a criminal act. They deliberately set up Trump knowing that there was no evidence of anything. Suspicion is not enough to investigate or even convict. There is not only suspicion with Clinton, she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence outside of the United States government. There is not just suspicion, there's evidence of crimes and legal statutes, U.S. Code 793F of the Espionage Act, RICO laws, bribery and racketeering, quid pro quo, obviously stunning. Or testimony reveals top DOJ officials briefed about Steele before FISA. Sarah Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely enough evidence to not only exonerate Trump, but to start a criminal probe, which, by the way, William Barr, the new Attorney General, will start regarding Peter Strzok. He said he was going to start a Peter Strzok probe, or he alluded to that during confirmation. Hit subscribe right now. Check out my Second Amendment upload below. An amazing time at the range. Former Navy SEAL Chris Sinog has an amazing channel, by the way. Hit subscribe. Subscribe to his channel. Just type in Chris Sinog, Sagnog, on YouTube. He has an amazing channel, and he helped me with my pistol grip. Well, he watching his video on how to properly grip a pistol. I've had lessons before, fine. You know what? It doesn't stick in my head. And I've seen I watch all the gun channels on YouTube. He has one of the best, and for some reason, what he said resonated with me. And anyway, best grouping, like a 6-inch grouping. It's amazing. 20 feet away with a Springfield XD, 45 ACP. Hit subscribe right now to this channel and to my Second Amendment channel. And thank you so very, very much. This is big news, ladies and gentlemen. Huge news. Share this segment right now.